Fuck! Motherfucker, shoot! Look at that, motherfucker! You fucking shot me, motherfucker! Ah, motherfucker! Shoot! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Don't shoot! Whatever that curfew was made yesterday at 8 p.m. But you know, we're still locking. But this is certain. This is proof. Tonight. Let's go. Get the fuck off! What the fuck you gonna do about it?
He's not doing anything! He's so protest!
Get the fuck off! Go! Get the fuck off!
Today's caught on tape fuel the movement. An officer tases a man from behind, another thrown to the ground for dancing. The new demand from protesters to defund the police. New York's mayor now redirecting money away from the NYPD, while the mayor of Minneapolis is driven from a protest for refusing to disband the force. What are protesters asking for? State of emergency
across the globe. Protests in Rome, Madrid, and Osaka, Japan. In Dortmund, Germany, soccer players take a knee. And in London, protesters gathered near the U.S. Embassy. NBC's Sarah Harmon is there talking to demonstrators. We need to Richmond, Virginia, a Confederate statue pulled from its pedestal. Yet
there was no ambiguity. Even with clarity, though, people continue to blame this death on anything but the injustices of a flawed system. Eric Garner could have been out there with mixtapes or a squeegee or a snow cone, and the same kind of could have happened. For the second time in 10 days, the grand jury, which at least in federal cases has a 99% indictment rate, failed to indict an officer who caused the death of an unarmed citizen. They didn't indict him for anything, not murder, not manslaughter, not even reckless endangerment, and for some reason to question a system producing that result is somehow offensive.
I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights.
Get your fucking knee off his neck! Get your fucking knee off his neck! Get your fucking knee off his neck!
Hey, this is funny to them. They're smiling. This is funny to them.
They're having a blast out here.
They have smiles on their faces.
And when a brother or sister in uniform is hurt, on that day, all of America bleeds blue.
These are cops right here, destroying everything! You're gonna take the materials of us trying to peacefully protest?
You know what? Everybody's trying to shame us. The legislators, the press, everybody's trying to shame us into being embarrassed about our profession. Stop treating us like animals and thugs, and start treating us with some respect.
First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
A man has driven his car into a group of protesters in Seattle.
The result was a 2-block-long mural only meters away from America's executive mansion. And the city's mayor then renamed the prominent section of street Black Lives Matter Plaza. An appointed rebuke to the White House, which had the area dramatically cleared earlier this week so Donald Trump could pose for photos at a church with a Bible.
What's going on? Let me tell you something. That's the problem that we got. That you see right now, it's gonna happen 10 years from now. And at 26, you're gonna be doing the same thing I'm doing. You understand that? 10 years. You're gonna be right here too. But he also got to. So what I need y'all to do right now at 16 is come up with a better way. Cause how we doing it, it ain't working.
Shaver, who is dead because of the Mesa Police Department. He was traveling to Mesa from out of town. He works for an exterminator company, and he had a pellet gun as part of his job. And so he was in his hotel room, and apparently other hotel patrons saw him with the pellet gun inside his room. And so they called the cops. Cops show up, and what you're about to see is very graphic, difficult to watch. But here's how they handled it, and I want you to keep close attention to Shaver's behavior, where his hands are, and how he did not pose a threat at all.
Breaching the fence. If they had, they would have been greeted with the most vicious dogs and most ominous weapons I have ever seen. Looting starts, the shooting starts.
Don't understand the national guard is, and you need to get out there from a PR perspective and make sure that it's not seen as an occupying port, but it's your neighbors, smoking, your business owners, those types of things. That's what really affects you, man.
Threat mobilizing. A black man killed with 4 officers holding him down, a knee to the neck, for more than 8 minutes, nearly 3 minutes of which he was no longer conscious for. That's not law and order. That's murder. Seems to think he calls them thugs. Who is the thug here?
Back in March, she was shot 8 times while she slept in her bed in Louisville. Why can't they just protest peacefully? And the answer is, they did. They protested after Terrence Crutcher was killed, but the cops were still acquitted. They protested after Samuel Du Bois was killed, but the case was dismissed. And if you've never heard of those people, it's because their peaceful protests never reached you. So I mean, Dylan Roof killed 9 people, and on the way to the jail, the cops bought him Burger King. Here's...
It is set up solely to profit a wealthy class, while the majority of people toil and suffer and sell their labor power. So long as that system's only true motive is profit interest and not the maintenance and betterment of the population. For meeting human needs, then that society should not stand. It should be challenged and questioned and overthrown.
Get up, get in the car, man. I will. Get up, get in the car.
I can't move.
I've been waiting the whole time, man. Get up, get in the car.
Mama.
Get up and get in the car right.
I can't.